Now let us discuss paper 2, I mean second afternoon session, gate solutions. Problem number 1. A bag has R red balls and B black balls. All balls are identical except for their colors. In a trial, a ball is randomly drawn from the bag and its color is noted, and the ball is placed back into the bag along with another ball of the same color. Note that the number of balls in the bag will increase one by one after the trial. A sequence of 4 such trials are conducted. Which one of the following choices gives the probability of drawing a red ball in the fourth draw? Anyhow, let us see. Remember, fourth draw must be a red ball and the first 3 draws can be any ball. Let us see. So we come across these cases. Case 1. I want to assume first 3 balls are red balls. Fourth color is fixed. Fourth must always be red ball only. Now fourth is red ball, that is fixed. Now first 3 reds can arrange in number of choices 3 factorial by 3 factorial. We have only one case. Means 3 reds can occur in any order in one way only. Now let us see 2 reds, 1 black. Fourth is always red only. Now 2 reds and 1 black. Please do observe, 2 reds and 1 black can occur in any order. First red, second red, third blue. First blue, second red, third red. In this manner we come across different cases. Let me check. Total balls 3 factorial by red is repeated twice. So it is 2 factorial. So we have 3 cases. 2 reds and 1 black can occur in 3 cases. Similarly, let us see 1 red, 2 blacks. Fourth is always red. No change in that. That is fixed already. Now 1 red, 2 blacks can occur in any order. That is total balls 3 factorial and black is repeated twice, so it is 2 factorial. That is 3 cases. Now no blacks except fourth. 3 are blacks only, no reds. 3 blacks and fourth is always red. That is fixed. Now 3 blacks can occur in any order. That is one possibility only, one case only. 3 factorial by 3 factorial, that is one case. Remember, total 8 cases for the occurrence of red ball in the fourth draw, and the first 3 draws can be any colored balls. Total 8 possibilities. Let us write the probabilities and add the probabilities in all these cases. Probability is equal to probability of first case plus second case plus third case plus fourth case plus fourth case. That is equal to, remember, total number of balls. Please remember, a bag contains R red balls, B black balls. So total number of balls R plus B. First chosen ball is a red ball. First is red, second is red, third is red, fourth is red. First is red. RC1. Out of R red balls, 1 red ball can be chosen in RC1 ways, means R only. By total R plus B, out of R plus B balls, 1 red ball can be chosen, or 1 ball can be chosen in R plus B C1 ways, means R plus B. But before going to the second draw, already drawn first red ball must be replaced in its original position along with one more red ball. Now total number of red balls are r plus 1. Out of r plus 1 red balls, one red ball is taken. It is r plus 1. By total number of balls will now be r plus b plus 1. Now third selection is also red only. Third red, fourth red. Before going to select the third time red ball, the second time drawn red ball must be replaced along with one more red ball. Now total number of red balls are r plus 2. Out of r plus 2 red balls, one red ball has been chosen in r plus 2 ways, and total number of balls will now be r plus b plus 2. Now before going to select the fourth time a red ball, this third time drawn red ball must be replaced along with one more red ball. Total number of red balls will now be r plus 3, and total number of balls will be r plus b plus 3. The same story will be repeated in the remaining cases as well. So this is one case plus second case. 2 reds, 1 black, 1 red, 2 reds. So here it was repeated 3 times. So I can write 3 into first is red, r by r plus b, even second is red. Then it is r plus 1 by r plus b plus 1. Third is black. Now total number of balls. Before going to select the third time a new ball, second time one red ball was drawn, it was placed or it was replaced along with one more red ball. Total number of red balls will now be r plus 2, but we are choosing black ball. So total number of black balls are 1 only. So b by total number of balls, total number of black balls b only. Now total number of balls must be r plus b plus 2. R plus b plus 2. Now before going to select the fourth time a red ball, this third time drawn one black ball must be placed in its original position and one more red ball will be drawn. But total number of black balls will now be b plus 1. But total number of red balls are r plus 2. And the total number of balls r plus b plus 3. This is case 2. Now let us write case 3 plus. What is case 3? 1 red, 2 black, 1 red. It is also repeated 3 times. 3 times of 1 red, r by r plus b. Second time is black. So total number of blacks b. But total number of balls will be r plus b plus 1, because before going to draw the second time a new ball, this firstly drawn red ball must be placed along with one more red ball. So total number of balls will now be r plus b plus 1. Third time also a black ball will be drawn. Then the second time drawn black ball must be replaced along with one more black ball. So total number of black balls will now be b plus 1, and total number of balls will be r plus b plus 2. But fourth time drawn ball must be a red ball. So already one red ball was drawn and it was placed in its original position along with one more red ball. Total number of red balls r plus 1. One can be drawn, r plus 1 c1 means r plus 1. And total number of balls will be r plus b plus 3. In the same manner, I can write the last one, b by r plus b, b plus 1 by r plus b plus 1, b plus 2 by r plus b plus 2. Last one is a red ball. So for that, r by total balls will be r plus b plus 3. Now we need to add all these, and you should be very careful. Here 3 times is there, no? This 3 times I will write. Here also 3 times. This 3 will be written as 1 time of this bracket plus 2 times of this bracket. Similarly, here also 1 time of this bracket plus 2 times of this bracket. I will write it separately. So P is equal to, first one is R by R plus B into R plus 1 by R plus B plus 1 into R plus 2 by R plus B plus 2 into R plus 3 by R plus B plus 3. Now second bracket will be written like this. 1 time of this bracket plus 2 times of this bracket. Plus 1 time of the bracket is R by R plus B, R plus 1 by R plus B plus 1 into B by R plus B plus 2 into R plus 2 by R plus B plus 3 plus 2 times of the same bracket, that is 2 into R by R plus B, R plus 1 by R plus B plus 1 plus B by R plus B plus 2, R plus 1 by, this is R plus 2, R plus B plus 3. Now third bracket, it should also be written as 1 time of this bracket plus 2 times of this bracket. R by R plus B, B by R plus B plus 1, B plus 1 by R plus B plus 2, R plus 1 by R plus B plus 3 plus 2 times of the same bracket, that is 2 into R by R plus B, B by R plus B plus 1, B plus 1 by R plus B plus 2, R plus 1 by R plus B plus 3. Last bracket as it is, that is B by R plus B, B plus 1 by R plus B plus 1, B plus 2 by R plus B plus 3. Fine, this is 2. R by R plus B plus 3. Now please do observe. In all the terms, denominator is common, that should be taken out as a common factor, that is fine. Apart from that, from the first and second, here numerator R plus 1, numerator R plus 2. Here also numerator R plus 1, R plus 2. So R into R plus 1 into R plus 2 as common from these two terms. Denominator as it is regarding these two. Now R into R plus 1 into R plus 2 by R plus B into R plus B plus 1 into R plus B plus 2. Actually we can estimate and directly write. Step by step I will write. Roughly you just need to remember, if I take out denominator common, don't think about the denominator. R plus 1, R plus 2. Here R plus 1, R plus 2. if I take these terms as a common factor, here the terms remaining r plus 3 plus b means r plus b plus 3. So numerator 1 r plus b plus 3, denominator 1 r plus b plus 3 cancel, I can directly write. But here detailed solution I will give, but in the exam you have to think and eliminate some terms. Anyhow, let us write r plus 1, r plus 2. This is equal to r plus 1, r plus 2 by denominator as it is r into r plus b into r plus b plus 1 into r plus b plus 3. Observe the terms remaining in the numerator. Here r plus 3 remaining, here plus b remaining. Those two terms will be written in separate bracket. R plus 3 plus b. Denominator was already taken out as common. R plus 3 plus b. R plus 3 plus b means r plus b plus 3. This is fine, we will cancel it later. Let us write one more term. Now you observe here 2 common, here also 2 common. Let me take out the common factors. 2 common are common. Here also 2 common are common. Here r plus 1. Here also r plus 1. Here b plus 1, b. Here b. So the common factors from those two terms is 2rb r plus 1. 2rb r plus 1. 2rb r plus 1. Next term is 2rb r plus 1. Denominator as it is, there is no change in the denominator, that is r into r plus b into r plus b plus 1 into r plus b plus 3. Denominator as it is, the terms remaining, here the term remaining in the numerator is b plus 1. Here the term remaining in the numerator is r plus 2. b plus 1 plus r plus 2, that is r plus b plus 3. So here the numerator is r plus b plus 3. Let me write next term. So the terms remaining are this one and this one. Please observe carefully. Here are b, here b plus 1, here b plus 1. RB b plus 1 as a common factor. RB b plus 1 as a common factor. RB b plus 1 common. Denominator as it is in all the terms, r into r plus b into r plus b plus 1 into r into r plus b into, let me check the denominator, fine. Denominator here r plus b plus 1, denominator r plus b plus 1. R plus b plus 2 into r plus b plus 3. We don't have r in the denominator. Similarly, here also r plus b correct, r plus b plus 1 correct, r plus b plus 2. R plus b plus 2, r plus b plus 3. Similarly here also r plus b plus 1, r plus b plus 2, r plus b plus 3. So I took out RB plus 1. If I take out RB plus 1, similarly here also, there the terms remaining r plus 1 plus b plus 2. R plus 1 plus b plus 2, that is r plus b plus 3. R plus b plus 3. Observe, numerator r plus b plus 3, denominator r plus b plus 3. Similarly here also cancel each other. So but here 2r is there, no, write this 2r as 2rb as rb r plus 1 plus rb r plus 1. So from all the remaining terms, denominator r plus b plus 1, r plus b plus 2 common. Let me take out from all the terms of the denominator regarding, that is equal to this is equal to, from the remaining terms, denominator is r plus b plus 1 into r plus b plus 2. Just to simply check the numerator, r into r plus 1 into r plus 2, r into r plus 1 into r plus 2, that is fine. Next term, 2rb r plus 1 will now be written as rb r plus 1, rb r plus 1 plus rb r plus 1, and the last term rb b plus 1, this one, rb b plus 1. Now you observe, from the first two terms, r is common, r plus 1 common, and r plus 1 common from the first two terms. That is equal to r into r plus 1 common was taken out. The terms remaining are r plus 2 plus b. R plus 2 plus b, that is r plus b plus 2. From the remaining terms, here also please observe, rb common, then remaining r plus 1 plus b plus 1, that is r plus b plus 2, rb into r plus b plus 2. Denominator r plus b plus 1, r plus b plus 2. Numerator r plus b plus 2. If I take it out as a common factor, that r plus b plus 2, this r plus b plus 2 cancel each other. Rest of the terms remaining r into r plus 1 plus rb. Again from these two terms of the numerator also, I want to take out r as common. Then it is r common. Then if I take r common, still you have r plus 1 plus b. If I take r common, the remaining terms inside the bracket r plus 1 plus b, that is r into r plus 1 plus b, denominator r plus b into r plus b plus 1. r plus b into r plus b plus 1. So r plus b plus 1, r plus b plus 1 cancel each other. Still you have r by r plus b. Therefore, the answer is r by r plus b. If you carefully manage the terms, some steps may be reduced so that you can effectively solve, but some questions may take only 10 seconds, 15 seconds or half minute. Some problems in the examination may consume 3 minutes, 4 minutes, even 6 minutes also. The only thing is you need to manage the time in the exam. R by R plus B. So option B is the right answer. Let us see the next problem. Please read the given problem carefully. In an examination, a student can choose the order in which two questions, question number A and question B, must be attempted. If the first question answered wrong, then student gets 0 marks. Suppose the first question is wrong, he will get 0 marks. It doesn't matter whether second question is correct or wrong. If first question is wrong, he will get 0 marks. That's it. Now you need to solve the problem by using these three conditions. By satisfying these three conditions, be careful. If the first question answered correctly and the second question is not answered correctly, then the student will get marks only for that first question only. Suppose first question correct and second question correct, then the student gets sum of the marks of those two questions. That is the data they gave. The following table shows the probability of answering correctly a question and the marks of the questions respectively. See, if question A is correctly answered, what is the probability for that? 0.8. Probability of question B correctly answered is 0.5. Question A has 10 marks and question B will be given 20 marks. Assuming that the student always wants to maximize her expected marks in the examination, that is obvious. In which order should she attempts the questions and what is the expected marks for that question? Assume the questions are independent. So options were given. Now let me assume. Actually, student can choose. Student can choose the order in which two questions can be attempted. There are two possibilities. First, question A is answered and then question B. Or question B is answered and then question A. In any order you can attempt. But if the first answered question is wrong, then you will get 0 marks. Doesn't matter whether second is correct or wrong. If first question is correct, second is wrong, you will get answers, you will get marks only for that first question. Suppose the first question is wrong and second question is also wrong, then same only. You will get first question is wrong, you will get 0 marks. First correct and second correct, you will get sum of the marks of those two questions. That is 30. Let me write. Let x is equal to, this is my assumption, let x is equal to marks scored by students if he attempts the questions, if he attempts the questions in the sequence. I mean, I want to attempt the questions in this sequence. Question A. First question A and then question B. Let us assume x is equal to marks obtained by the student if he is trying to answer the questions in the sequence of question A and then question B. Now, similarly, y is equal to marks scored by students. Marks scored by student if he attempts questions in the sequential order in this sequence question B and then question A. First, let us find the expected value for the random variable x and then let us find the expected value for the random variable y. But random variable x means what? Student scoring marks if he is attempting the questions in the sequential order of question A and then question B. X means marks scored by the student. Remember, we are attempting question A first and then question B. Please remember, suppose question A is attempted first. Suppose question A is wrong, he will get 0 marks. If any question attempted wrong, if first question attempted wrong, then student gets 0 marks. So student answering question A and then question B. If question A is wrong, he will get 0 marks. Suppose question A is correct and question B is wrong, then he will get 10 marks. 10 marks only because question B is wrong. Because if question A, if first question answered correctly and second question not answered correctly, then the student gets marks only for that first problem. So that's why question A correct and question B wrong, he will get 10 marks only. Suppose question A correct, question B correct, he will get 10 plus 20, 30 marks. So possibility is question A is wrong, he will get 0 marks. Suppose question A is correct, he will get 10 marks. Question B is wrong, it doesn't matter whether question B is correct or question B is wrong, then he will get marks only for the first problem according to the data they gave. Now, first question correct, 10 marks, and second question also correct, 20 marks. 10 marks plus 20 marks, 30 marks. Now, probability of, this is x, not y, probability of student scoring 0 marks. Probability of scoring 0 marks means what? First question is wrong. If first question is correct, probability 0.8. First question is wrong, he'll get 0 marks and 0 marks. For that probability 0.8, 0.2. Because correctly answered 0.8, wrongly answered 0.2. Student gets 10 marks. That means the first question is correct and second is wrong. Probability of first question correct 0.8 and second is wrong. Second is wrong 0.5. Now student getting 30 marks means for correctly attempted by for first question correctly attempted, he will get 10 marks. Second question is correctly attempted, he will get 20 marks. 10 marks plus 20 marks, he will get 30 marks. means first question is correctly attempted 0.8 and second question is correctly attempted 0.5. This is the distribution table. Now we just need expected marks. Let us write expected marks scored, where X is marks scored in the sequential order of question A and then question B. For this, probability value 10 into 0.8 into 0.5 plus 30 into 0.8 into 0.5. Answer is 16. Now let us find expected value of y. For that, let us draw the table. This is probability of y. Suppose first question is correctly answered. Here first question y means what? Question B is answered first and then question A. So question B wrong. So for any first wrongly answered question, he will get 0 marks. And the probability of question B is correct is 0.5. Probability of question B wrong is also 0.5. If first attempted question is wrong, it doesn't matter whether second attempted question is correct or wrong, he will get 0 marks only. First question is correct, but second is wrong. First question correct because he answered question B and then question A. First question correct, question B correct, 20 marks. So question B correct, question A wrong. Question B is correctly answered, 0.5. Question A is wrong. Question A is wrongly attempted is 0.2. Because question A correctly attempted is given to be 0.8. Now second question is correct. Second question is correctly attempted and first one is also correctly attempted. For second question 20 marks, question B 20 marks, question A 10 marks. Altogether 30 marks. Probability of second question is correctly attempted is 0.5. Probability of question A is correctly attempted means second question is 0.8. Expected marks E of y is equal to this into this 0. 20 into 0.5 into 0.2 plus 30 into 0.5 into 0.8, that is 2 plus 12, that is 14. Now in which order we are getting expected marks is high? In this order, first question A and then question B, we are getting highest marks. Expected maximum expected marks is 16. Question A first and then question B. First question A and then question B, expected marks is 16. In this order we need to follow. Let us see the next problem. Please read the given problem. Suppose f of x is a continuous function in the closed interval -3, 3. F of x is a differentiable function in the open interval -3, 3. Please do remember, according to mean value theorem, means Lagrange's mean value theorem, if f of x is a continuous function in the closed interval AB and differentiable in the open interval AB, then we can write it as, according to that theorem, f dash of c is equal to f of b, because interval a means -3, b means 3, f of b minus f of a by b minus a. Now f of 3 value we don't know, we need to find f of 3. F of -3 was given to be 7. F dash of c is equal to f of 3 don't know, minus f of minus 3 7 by 6. In the statement of the problem it was already given that this is f dash of x, f dash of x less than or equal to 2. F dash of x less than or equal to 2. X is any value in the interval a comma b. That any value was assumed to be c. So f dash x means f dash of c. So x is any number in the interval of minus 3 comma 3. F dash x value f of 3 minus 7 by 6 less than or equal to 2. So 6 will go this side, that is 12. F of 3 minus 7 less than or equal to 12. F of 3 less than or equal to 12 plus 7, 19. So the maximum value of f of 3, the maximum value of f of 3 is 19. Less than or equal to means maximum or at most. Therefore f of 3 value is at most 19. So f of 3 is at most 19. Let us see the next problem. Please read the given problem. Suppose capital P is a 4 by 5 matrix such that every solution of the system of equations Px is equal to 0, that is a homogeneous system. Every solution of this system of equations must be a scalar multiple of 2, 5, 4, 3, 1 whole transpose. 2, 5, 4, 3, 1 whole transpose. Now let us see given P, it is a 4 by 5 matrix. Every solution of homogeneous system of equations Px is equal to 0 is a scalar multiple of 2, 5, 4, 3, 1 whole transpose. Remember, every solution of this homogeneous system of equation must be a multiple of this solution. That means what? All other possible solutions must be expressed as some constant multiple of this solution. That meant for all other solutions must be dependent upon this solution, whereas this solution should be independent of all those solutions. Therefore, this solution is an independent solution. I mean linearly independent solution. This is only the linearly independent solution. Rest of all other solutions must be dependent upon this solution, because all other solutions are constant multiple of this. That's why all other solutions dependent upon this, and whereas this is an independent solution, so number of independent solutions must be 1. Number of linearly independent solutions is equal to 1. Number of linearly independent solutions formula, n minus r is equal to 1. N means number of columns of the given matrix. Number of columns of the given matrix is 5. Number of columns 5. R means rank of the given matrix P. Rank of the given matrix P. is equal to 1. From this 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Therefore, rank P is equal to 4. Now let us see the next problem. For a given biased coin, the probability that the outcome of a toss is a head is 0.4. This coin is tossed 1000 times. Let x denote the random variable whose value is the number of times the head appears in these 1000 tosses. The standard deviation of capital X rounded off to 2 decimal places is what? Now let us see. Coin was tossed 10,000 times. P means probability of occurrence of head, that is 0.4. Q means 1 minus P, that is 1 minus 0.04, sorry, 1 minus 0.4, that is 0.6. Standard deviation, because all tosses are independent tosses, therefore it is a binomial distribution. Standard deviation of binomial distribution is square root of NPQ, that is square root of NPQ, that is 1000 into probability 0.4 into 0.6. So the answer is 240. So the value of square root of 240, that is 15.49. This is the value. So answer is 15.49. Thank you.